guys, Thogden here. Welcome back to a brand new video. Now today, I'm sat down here with Thogden as we're going to be discussing both our different top 10 players in the Premier League that you should watch out when the Premier League returns.
I can't wait. And you know what else I'm looking forward to?
What?
The Football Content Awards, because you've been nominated.
I have been nominated. I wasn't even going to mention that, but yes.
He wasn't either. He's too modest, and he shouldn't be.
I'll leave it in the description if you want to vote for me.
Get on that. Vote Thogden, yeah?
What's the like target, big man?
6,100. Let's get straight into it.
Who have you got in 10th place?
In 10th place, I've gone to Brighton and Leandro Trossard.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because Brighton this season have been quite a good team.
Yeah.
Very hard to beat, and defensively as good as Chelsea or Tottenham or Burnley. But what they need is a bit more creativity. Someone to step forward and score goals, because they need probably 3 more wins.
They do.
Young Trossard, I was impressed by him when we saw him.
If Brighton want to survive this season, he can pluck out them a few goals and hopefully get them some wins and keep them in the league. Who do you think is going to be a star when the Premier League returns? Let us know in the comment section. I'm going to be liking, replying. Will you be?
Of course, I always reply.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be responding as well. My 10th place is Liverpool's midfielder that we haven't seen too much of recently or over the last couple of years, mainly because of injuries. And that player is Naby Keita.
Yes,
now, they signed him for something like 60 million euros from RB Leipzig. He's just been affected by so many injuries at Liverpool, and he hasn't had a proper chance. Now, this lockdown has meant he's back to full fitness, and if Jurgen Klopp, after they win the league, wants to give them a go, maybe rotate the midfield a little bit, he could really start to shine and finally show Liverpool fans what he could really offer for the club. That brings us on to 9th place. Who have you gone for?
Well, I've gone to Bournemouth on the south coast.
Okay.
And I've gone for Callum Wilson.
Ooh.
Now, Bournemouth are fighting for their lives.
They are.
I don't think they'll survive, but they could. And the reason I've gone for Callum Wilson is he's got 2 things. Goals and experience.
Definitely.
Yeah, so he's got 8 goals this season. We know he can find the back of the net, but also he needs to lead that team.
He does.
And they need to find 3 or 4 wins from somewhere.
Good shout.
Thank you.
My 9th place is a Chelsea man, again, who's been injured. We've not seen much of him for a while, but when we've seen him, he's been an absolute baller. That's RLC. If you don't know who that is, it's Ruben Loftus Cheek.
Yes.
Potentially, we could be seeing him come the end of the season, and I'm actually looking forward to it. As an England fan, I remember him at the Russia World Cup. Injuries have absolutely done him dirty, but I still think he's got potential to go right to the top.
Yes, I think Chelsea games could be really good to watch until the end of the season.
Shall we move on to your 8th position now, big lad?
Yes, and I'm sticking with Chelsea, and I'm going for Mason Mount.
Ooh.
Who's got 6 goals this season, 5 assists, who started off really strongly and went off the boil a bit. I mean, this is a future England regular. If he can continue this form and get some consistency,
that's a big call,
this lad will be a regular. This is a cracking player.
I'm going to go for Raul Jimenez at Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, this man, there's no injuries, there's nothing that's faulting him whatsoever. The man is just a baller, and Wolverhampton Wanderers have been amazing this season. They're in 6th place. They could even sneak up to 5th, which would guarantee them Champions League football, because Man City aren't in it. He's scored so many goals this season, and I definitely believe he's someone to watch out for in the second part of the season, because he will continue to bang in the goals for Wolverhampton Wanderers.
That's a very good shout. I mean, Wolves have been brilliant this season. And my 7th place, I'm sticking with Wolves.
Wow, we just seem to follow a trend here.
I know we do. And I'm going Adama Traore, who I love this guy. He's got so much raw talent. Now, he's got some product, 4 goals, 7 assists, I think, this season.
Yeah.
But I think in future years, this guy could be a very, very special player.
There's been links with Liverpool, hasn't there?
Yes, and quite rightly. He's one of those players, if you know, let's say Wolves are playing Burnley, you turn the TV on because Traore is playing.
I'm going for another lad that's very good to watch.
Yeah.
The Newcastle United French winger, Allan Maximin.
Yeah.
The reason I'm going for him is he's just a talent. He's raw talent. As you guys know, the Newcastle takeover is pretty much complete. Players like Allan Maximin will want to prove to them, who'll be watching the games now, I want to stay in this lineup. I want to be an in-and-out winger, even when you come in with so much money. And to do that, he's going to have to prove them it by getting goals and assists and a bit of flair on the pitch. And I think he's going to bring that in the second half of the season. Watch out for him.
Newcastle fans write to me and they love this guy. 6th place, I've gone over to the Emirates Stadium.
Have you?
Nicolas Pepe.
Ooh,
now,
controversial.
We talked a lot about him because he cost 71 million quid last August from Lille, didn't he?
Yeah,
so he's not had a brilliant first season. I think 4 goals, 6 assists. the stats could have been higher.
Definitely.
But I think now that there's no crowds there, he might come out of his shell a bit.
You reckon?
I do.
What, you think it was the pressure that was faulting him at the beginning?
Possibly. I mean, one of the pressures of English football, one of the pressures is the pace.
Yeah.
Another one is the crowds.
I've gone for the Watford lad up top, Troy Deeney. The man who recently was in the news because he said he didn't want to go into a training because his son has health problems and he didn't want to risk corona. Now he's gone into the news and said, now that Premier League football's back, I'm going to go into training to help the impact of the team.
Yes.
Watford are in a relegation scrap. If there's one man who's going to help keep this guy up, and one man who loves a big game, it's this guy, Troy Deeney. We all know about the Deeney moment, and we might be seeing something similar come the end of the season. He loves a big game, he's a big lad, he's a handful for centre-backs, and that's exactly what you need for a team that is scrapping around relegation. So watch out in the last 9 games of the Premier League.
That's a very good choice. He's got grit, he's got goals, he's got experience.
Your 5th place.
Right, I'm going over to West Ham now.
Ooh, okay.
And goodness knows why West Ham are in the bottom 5. They shouldn't be there, but they are.
Yeah.
And what they need now is they need wins. And I've gone for Jared Bowen.
Have you?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Now, there's only one reason you buy Jared Bowen. That's for goals.
Yeah.
He got 16 of them for Hull this season, and a few assists as well.
He's done it in the Championship. It's going to be interesting to see if he can now do it in the Premier League. My 5th place, we're going over to Manchester, the red side of Manchester actually. And it's a man who's been out for injury and now he's back and he had a brilliant start to the season. That man is Marcus Rashford. He is in my 5th position that you guys should watch out for when United are back. He's going to be fully fit. He's going to be around a full strength United squad. It's going to be big. Watch out for Marcus Rashford. Not more needs to be said. I think he's going to be great for England in the Euros next year. Great for United.
I expect a lot from Man United in the last few weeks of the season. I mean, you've got Bruno and Pogba in the middle and they're going to create chances, aren't they? For
100%.
Rashford, for Martial. Moving on to 4th place, we're talking about one of my favourite players in the league.
Really?
His stats are brilliant and his character is wonderful. It is, of course, Heung-min Son.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah.
Great player. Great player.
He's got 9 goals and 8 assists already. I think he's played, 21 games?
Yeah.
That is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, great player.
What I like about this guy, there appears to be no ego. He'll play for the team, and it doesn't matter whether it's a game in the park or a Champions League game, he will perform.
You can't hate Heung-min Son. You just can't.
You can't.
Talking about Tottenham, let's move on to my 4th place. A man that you've just mentioned, I've picked Harry Kane.
Yeah.
The Tottenham lad, English lad, he's been injured for ages and his stats haven't looked that good this year because, to be quite frank, he hasn't played that much this season. And he's back. There's a hype around him. He's the captain. He's the main man, not just for Tottenham, but for England. He could have such a vital impact in bringing Spurs into European football.
That's a very good shout. The trouble is, he's often not a very good starter. So at the start of the season, sometimes he's very quiet. Now, you could argue this is like the start of the season. Moving on to my 3rd place.
Really going down to the low numbers here.
We are. I'm going over to Watford. You've mentioned his name already, Ismaila Sarr.
Ooh, so you haven't picked Deeney?
No,
Okay.
I mean, and the reason being, I didn't know whether Deeney would start. But Ismaila Sarr, we saw what he did to Liverpool. He went up against the world's and Europe's best club right now, and he tore them apart.
And guess who was at the match?
And he was there.
That was me. What a game for Premier League history. And that man, Ismaila Sarr, is a baller. Good
I mean, he's a young lad, 22 years old, the lad from Senegal. He's got 5 goals and 4 assists in about 19 games. Now, that's a good return.
Definitely. Now for my 3rd place. We're really coming down the numbers here. These options have to be good, and I can guarantee you this one is. It's an Aston Villa player, which might shock you. I've gone for the attacking midfielder / left winger, Jack Grealish, the Englishman who's absolutely smashed up the seam. Now, the reason he's in such a high position, and the reason I think you guys should watch out for him, is because I think he's going to be bloody mental when the Premier League starts again. I think he's going to be unreal. If Villa have any chance of surviving this year, he is the man who's going to have to carry them out of the relegation zone.
Of course, recently he's been on the front page of the tabloids. Allegedly, the problems during lockdown. So he's got something to prove, hasn't he, Theo?
Yeah, I think he thrives off a bit of attention.
Publicity, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when it happened at Birmingham City where he literally got punched in the face.
Yeah.
What did he do? He went off and scored and won them the game. He loves that.
2nd place, it has to be Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United.
Oh, he's gone for Bruno.
Absolutely.
The Portuguese midfielder who's smashed it for Sporting and Man United this year. Decent option.
And the thing about him, he's brought some real creativity and talent and confidence to the United team.
He's changed them. I remember I was at the Chelsea United game I think it was a cup game, and I tell you what, Bruno was the difference. His set pieces nearly went in. He then set up a corner kick to Harry Maguire's head, like pinpoint cross. We're going over to the other side of Manchester, the blue side, and I've picked Leroy Sané.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't heard anything of him for years, have we? He's had a really long-term injury, and he is finally back ready for the Premier League, and I am buzzing for it. When Manchester City were on their best ever form, he was playing every week, smashing the scene, scoring bangers. He was Pep's main winger, and he's now back, and it's going to be so fun to finally watch him play.
Yeah, you said it. He's one of the best players in the world. It's that simple.
Yeah, definitely.
So Theo has no idea who I've chosen at first place, do you?
No, I don't actually. I actually don't. Who have you got?
I've gone for Jack Grealish.
Have you?
Yes.
You've picked Jack Grealish?
Yes, yeah. Because this is a man who is capable of keeping Villa up. He's that good.
He is. I think it'll go right down to the wire between Villa and Brighton. It might even go down to the last game where Grealish might be forced to having to score a last-minute winner to knock Brighton down. I don't know. The relegation scrap is going to be the most interesting thing in the Premier League. That's what I'm buzzing for at the end of the season.
And what's exciting about Villa, though, is John McGinn is back.
Oh.
So you've got two really talented lads really fighting it out.
If only the rest of the team was half decent.
I know, that is the problem.
My first place, my final choice, not being given as an option yet in this video, is the Manchester United French midfielder, Paul Pogba. It had to be. It had to be. The man is back from injury. He's one of the biggest transfer fees in the world, one of the most gassed up players ever at the moment, and he is such a special talent, and he is finally back from injury, and we're going to see one of the best midfield duos of Bruno and Pogba. For the first time, United finally use a full-strength squad. It's going to be scenes to see that happen. I think with Rashford back too, they're going to be lethal.
But how is the chemistry going to be with Bruno, and will he be bothered?
I don't know. Well, 100%. In fact, if anything, it will be like the Robertson-Trent Alexander-Arnold beef. They'll both feed each other on to want to give more chances created and more assists and more goals. They'll have a little competition, you know? What is the like target? We haven't said this yet.
Before we say that, smash something else. Football Content Awards.
Yes, get on it.
Smash the vote button. Thogden, he deserves it.
Lads, I appreciate it. We'll be there. It'd be nice to pick up the best content creator, football content creator anyway. If I could pick up that award, it'd be amazing. All you need to do is click that link in the description, go vote for me. Please subscribe if you're new around here, turn on notifications, and make sure when you do, put it on all so you never miss a video. But before we end the video, what's the like target, big man?
6,100.
Wow, that is a massive like target to hit. All I can say is smash it, go and do it. Guys, thank you very much, and have a good, what day is it? Forgot what day is it? Monday. Have a good Monday, guys. See you all later. Bye, guys.